3, 2, 1.
Pew pew! Welcome once again to the New Old Podcast. I am your host, Zim, co-host with Seagull and Adam, OnlyFans, human leg, human foot,
ginger stick.
ginger stick. Don't exactly know what that's supposed to be. But
people that know.
we're all here today, though. Oh, shit. Well, if people decided they wanted to see more of this after the first episode, welcome. For those of you who aren't, fuck off. It's fine.
It's such a joy to have something that I don't take seriously at all. Everything else feels so serious all the
Oh
time.
my God.
Even like music. Like I love music, but it just feels like it's got to be good, and we got schedules, and we got to make a record. And
There's a schedule.
It's just nice to sit and dick around.
It actually is quite nice. I was in corporate mode last week.
Yuck.
In Chicago.
Second that. Terrible.
As was
terrible.
And I'm just sitting here just like in this room, and I'm like,
Did you go see Rage?
no, didn't work out. No.
He really hurt himself. You see that?
Oh, I did, yeah.
They haven't said like what happened. Just
Yeah,
Zach from Rage like really hurt his leg, and they had to carry him back out on stage.
Yeah.
And he sat on a monitor and finished the show.
Good for
What a
him.
champion.
It's very Dave Grohl of him.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I think it's we got a few different topics today. We'll cover the regular favorites like the Packers because there's a fucking hilarious video out there that we need to talk about, Packers related.
I don't know if I know about this. I saw they were like crashing weddings. Did you see that?
Oh, I did see that.
But it was all like it was not like star players. It was
Like-
guys that like if they crash your wedding, even if you were a Packer fan, you'd probably have to be told
Like,
who
who
they
the fuck
were,
is that?
right?
Who's that?
Play backup,
he's wearing
backup,
a jersey.
fullback.
He's got to be. You know what we should do? We should just go to weddings and dressed in full Packer gear.
I met Andrew Quarles. Remember Andrew Quarles?
Yeah.
I met him at Guitar Center. I was working there as a repair guy.
Yep.
And I didn't recognize him because it was like his first season or whatever. And he came in and he starts talking to me about tattoos. He goes, "Yeah, I dig your tattoos." I said, "Thanks, man. I like yours too."
Yep.
And he goes, "So you're like a musician?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "What do you do?" And he goes, "I'm a football player." And I just had a total brain fart that the Packers even existed. And I went, "Oh, that's cool. It's like a men's league or what?" And just like on the video during the game, he just goes, "Andrew Quarles, Green Bay Packers." And I went, "Oh, football. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Son of a bitch. There go the free tickets right there." Was it like a bar league or something? You're huge. That's awesome, dude.
Oh my God, that's pretty funny. I mean,
Way better than
but
softball.
It is hard. Although I will say, I'm pretty sure he's the only player in Packers history that had God's gifts tattooed on his arms.
Is he God's gift? Were his arms God's gift?
No one knows. Huh?
Something else?
Something else.
We don't know.
We don't really
We don't
know.
get to know. He was buying gear because he's a rapper.
Oh yeah.
He made rap songs that got people in the locker room psyched up. And I was like, make some in the postseason, guy.
Yeah. So, do you remember Nick Barnett?
Yes, I do.
So do you remember Nick Barnett?
I remember the name. I can't put a face to it.
So that's right. That's right. You're a relatively new Packer fan, aren't you?
Yeah, within the last 4 years.
Oh,
We should
interesting.
talk about that. Isn't it fun?
It is really fun.
I grew up thinking like you couldn't be like punk rock and stuff and also like football.
See,
And
and
then it's just nice.
I never hated it, but I remember watching it growing up, just being ungodly bored.
Yeah.
Just because I had no idea what was going on, and I didn't care.
Interesting. Well, did we just dive into our Packers minute?
Yeah.
Well,
Do
let's
the
just
button,
dive into
press
it.
the
Let's
button.
just dive into the Packers minute here because it is time for us to talk Packers. We sort of already were.
Yes.
But
London this year. Are you gonna like TiVo it, or are you gonna wake up at 4:00 in the morning
it's at 8:30 in the morning, Central Time.
on a Sunday? It might as well be 4.
What?
Gonna have a show the day before.
What a good way to start the day, though.
I can't.
I'm kind of
so
excited. It's gonna be like a pajama jam.
It's like Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gonna make cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
8:30.
That's it.
That's it. No gifts, no nothing.
8:30 in the morning. I can watch the Packers ruined my entire Sunday by playing to the level of their shittier opponent and probably.
Who are they playing against?
Giants.
Well, that could be fun though, like a blowout.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as it's not a blowout in the other way.
There's no way.
I see.
Is there potential for
I've
the
seen
Giants
so
being
much
good this
shit
year?
in my lifetime. There is never a guarantee in the NFL. Never.
I mean, that's true. But
Never. I just don't like talking in absolutes when it comes to Packers.
The only upside is that whatever condition the Packers are in from actually getting to London, the Giants will be in the same shape.
Right.
It's not like they're playing a British team.
Where I think they will have a problem is the fact that they opted against having their bye the next week. So they don't get back until
When
Monday.
they come back, that they're in rough shape.
And then they play the Jets at noon, an early game. And the Jets are going to be really tough
yeah,
this year.
the Jets are kind of a question mark this year.
That is a game I'd be a little worried about. I mean, again, I'm not in panic mode, but I think that's a tougher game because of the travel aspect and because I think the Jets in year two, very young team last year, good young quarterback. They played really tough. I think that's a tougher game than what people will think about. Speaking of Packers,
Yes.
you have not yet seen the A.J. Dillon video?
Where he schmucks that mascot.
Oh, my God.
His head comes off.
It is so funny. It is so funny.
I saw it because Bakhtiari tweeted it.
Yeah.
With the caption, 911, I'm going to report a dead body.
Oh, my God. Did anybody check on the mascot after that? I hope so.
I don't understand. So I just saw like a little clip of it. So I don't have any context. The clip I saw was like 5 seconds long.
yeah,
I'm pretty
And
sure.
AJ Dillon's like laying on the ground for some reason.
It's an
They-
Oklahoma drill.
they were both laying on the ground,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then AJ
So
Dillon jumps up
Oklahoma
and
drill.
just plows
Levels
into this
him.
guy.
Is you're both on the ground, and then you get up, and one guy is the runner, and one is supposed to tackle. I mean, obviously, what was the name of the mascot?
The
Daddy, the dead guy.
Kenosha.
Kenosha Kingfish.
Yes. Oh my God, that video. I mean, you see, like, obviously he's wearing a costume, but even the trajectory of the head portion of the costume,
Oh, yeah.
looked so bad. And then yesterday or today, maybe the Packers posted that A.J. Dillon was doing like a commercial shoot at Lambeau for something, and he was in his full attire. And he walked out and joined one of the Lambeau Field tour groups, and everyone was like, "Whoa!" That
AJ
guy,
Dillon's fun. We got a fun backfield. I like that.
that guy is absolutely 100% embraced everything Wisconsin
Yep.
since
That's
he
what I love about
showed
him.
up.
Doesn't he want to be like mayor of Door County or something? Like that?
They gave him the key to
Yep.
key to Door County. He married a girl who's from Sturgeon Bay, I think.
Ooh.
So he's fully
Likes a
good.
good cheese curd.
He must.
I heard Seth Meyers refer to Ron Johnson as a Wisconsin cheese turd.
Good.
It's pretty good.
I'm on board with that. Old Russian Ronnie.
Old Russian Ron.
I wonder what he was doing over there on 4th of July in 2021 over there.
On 4th of July, no less.
On fucking 4th of July. Rojo.
Statue of Liberty's birthday.
Oh, God. All right. I know we're not going to get political,
No,
but
not
fuck
political.
that guy. I think we can all agree on that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, so another Packers thing.
Oh.
They have family night coming up, and they also have preseason games coming up. I am so happy that in the last few years they have just chopped an entire week off of the preseason.
Yes.
But how useless can we make a game by having a Pro Football Hall of Fame game and forcing two teams to play 4 preseason games, one more than everybody else? But still, it's just an extra game and a meaningless preseason game.
There's a similar controversy around the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Like the Pro Bowl sucks and nobody wants to do
Terrible. It is terrible.
it. And again, McAfee has been saying you should just make it like a skills challenge. You should make it the NFL version of like the home run derby. And
Absolutely. It
you should
basically
do,
is.
They do a game of dodgeball. But he said you should do that with like an NFL quality production level. I'd watch the Pro Bowl dodgeball game.
Yeah, until somebody blows an ACL out and misses their entire next season.
What team do they play for? Maybe I don't give a shit.
Well, I guarantee if there's a first injury ever of all time, it'll be a Packer player because that's just fucking how it works. But yeah, I'm super excited. We've got, I don't know, a couple weeks until we've actually got people in Green Bay ready to hit and practice and all that good stuff. We need to talk about why Sterling Sharp needs to be in the NFL Hall of Fame, and he is up for that.
Why wouldn't he be?
Because there's a lot of receivers, but nobody was doing what he was doing in the early 90s.
Well, I mean, isn't the thinking then that he will be? He just might
I
not
hope
be
so,
first
but
ballot?
it shouldn't take, like Leroy Butler. It took him way too long. And multiple safeties went before him that were nowhere near as good. Like, he changed the safety position, but John Lynch gets in before him, and John Lynch was good, but he wasn't better than Leroy Butler.
No.
At all, at any measure.
Right.
So Sterling Sharp, he had a shorter career because of his neck injury, but no one was catching triple-digit passes in seasons when he was doing it.
Yeah.
Then Herman Moore started to do it with the Lions. But
I wonder if the problem, and it's the same thing with Leroy Butler, that like, I know a lot of times when guys are like up for the Hall, it seems like the voters consider the team they were on.
Here's the thing. Sharp did it with Don Mikowski, and he did it with Blair Keel, and he did it with a bunch of backups before Favre got there.
But like his, like
Well, he
the
got
meat
better.
of his career
He
was.
but he made a Pro Bowl in.
But I just wonder
89,
if
90,
Leroy Butler
that
had a
makes
similar
sense.
thing because
Yeah.
he was behind Reggie White and all those guys.
Yeah. But I don't know. He transcended the position, completely changed. No
He
safeties
should
were
definitely go
playing.
in.
We're covering the slot player, the best player, and also playing linebacker and blitzing. Like, nobody had.
Yeah. I was happy to see. Didn't Charles Woodson go in last
He
year?
did.
First ballot.
That guy.
That was good.
awesome. Any other Packers related items before we shift?
The Packers need a mascot
Why?
because it'd be awesome. You know who it should be? You know who it should be? It should be Curtis from Culver's.
Curtis.
No. There was a guy years ago when I was going to games. His name, they called him, like, he's the self-appointed mascot. He was from, I forget, somewhere in Wisconsin here. He dressed in all green, and he was known as Gang Green. And he was like one of the only like guys that everybody knew in the 80s and 90s.
Sure.
I don't know what happened to him, but actually I think he passed away a few years ago.
Yeah,
That was like the unofficial.
In a veritable orgasm of irony, he got gangrene.
He got gangrene after he got a fishing lure stuck in his hand, and he just never got it cleaned up.
Yeah, that'll clear up on its own.
They do not need a mascot. Let's keep that silly talk out of here. Yeah, they're fine. They're fine as they are.
They also need to like.
If you say put a dome on that stadium,
Oh, no.
this podcast is over.
No, I would never.
Oh my god.
But did you hear about Soldier Field?
Oh, go ahead, Bears.
That's the
Go
mayor.
ahead.
The mayor wants to put it, and he hasn't confirmed if he means like a retractable roof, but he said dome.
I don't fucking care. Whatever, Bears. Do whatever the fuck you want. Doesn't matter.
Is Gronk officially
Yeah, he's
going to be retired?
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Right. Until midway through the season, and he can skip camp and be like, oh, all right. Well, everybody
Right.
else is all worn down. I'll show up fresh and healthy and be able to dominate.
Gronkenstein
he's
just comes
still
running out on the field.
He's still good, but
Did you see his hot ones where they asked him like what his perfect meal would be? And his answer was like 5 full minutes of him just listing everything his mom has ever cooked. It's like, he's not doing it on purpose, but it's like comically, like it just keeps going. Like he keeps, oh, you got to have my mom's mac and cheese too. And I mean, you should make the meatloaf, of course. And then, I mean, you want to have some wings, right? And it's just, is it your last meal because you're eating this and it's going to kill you? And that's the Packers
character.
minute.
That guy is a character. Football is better when he's in the mix. I think we've talked enough about football. We've
Bam.
scared everybody away. How about we dive into? Nope, wrong one.
Let me see if I can guess.
Local minute
Current events.
and current events.
Them damn scooters are still there.
I saw one tipped over today. It was a rough scene.
I shouldn't say this
Ooh.
publicly, but I checked the bottom of one to see how hard it would be to remove the kickstand because I just thought that would be hilarious. Like every time you find one in your yard, just take the kickstand off.
Does the city of Appleton have like a limit on the hours of when those things can be?
Not to my knowledge. Not based on when I have seen them being up. The company pays people to go around and pick them up
Right, and charge
them and put them back. What I learned today that I did not know is that there were so many complaints about the scooters being left places they're not supposed to be, like my goddamn yard. Right in the camera. There were so many complaints that this year the city said, and I just learned this today, that you'll get a discount if you put it back in an approved location. That clearly has not worked. I think it should be, it costs $5 extra if you leave it somewhere it's not. Because
Yeah,
I
we'll
get it.
bill
Like,
you.
I'm an old, cranky man, and people like the scooters, whatever. But, like, there should be pickup and drop-off locations.
There should be.
And I love to, like, I love when there's a law that people just, like, nah. Like, go downtown and walk on the sidewalk on College Avenue and try not to get run over by a bike or a scooter. It can't be done.
Yep.
Even though they
Yeah.
paid probably thousands of
Fucking
dollars to
rules.
put those things on the sidewalk that say, like, I was down there last week and there was poop on the sidewalk and there was barf on the sidewalk.
Well, that's just what you get when you're in America.
Thanks, Tavern League, you bunch of assholes.
Well, the reason why I ask, yes, fuck the Tavern League. Let's get that out of the way.
People that smoke marijuana don't go poop on the sidewalk downtown.
No, they don't. They drink less, which
They
is
poop
bad.
at Taco Bell.
Which is bad for the Tavern League. But yeah, fuck the Tavern League. But anyway, what I thought was interesting when I was just recently in Charlotte, they have the whole.
You were in Charlotte?
Yeah, about a month ago.
Did you see Muggsy Bogues?
No.
He's a beautiful man.
Yeah, okay. He was
Remember
not
him?
there.
He's like
But
4
they
feet
have,
tall.
Yeah,
they have two
super
different
tiny.
types of like bird scooters that are set up. They have ones that are owned by the city, and they have a different color one that are owned privately. So the privately owned ones, those people maintain them and they make money off them.
Indeed.
So it also encourages them to return them or whatever. But what I thought was genius is after it's either 8 or 9 o'clock, they cannot be operated in the city. They don't allow it.
I like that.
Coincidentally, the same night I was there, somebody got drilled by a bike while riding down the road at 9:30. So probably a good idea
Yeah.
not to have people on those things when it's dark.
Yeah.
I don't care what city it is, especially America's drunkest city, which we are currently in.
Are we officially?
We're top 5, I think, right? I wonder how they rank those, quite frankly. Is it bars per capita? Is it like...
So, yeah, because you hear all these statistics and you sit back and go like, no one ever asked me.
Yeah.
I've never been
I'm
surveyed
sorry,
about anything.
I don't want to see any poll that I haven't participated in. Otherwise, it's just bullshit to me.
I don't believe in it.
Well, the straw poll says... Well, nobody fucking talked to me.
Right.
And
Don't
I
give
get
me
phone
any
calls
straw.
all the time. Yeah. I don't need straw.
I heard about that Eleanor place again. Someone else was talking about it. Said it was really good. Still haven't been there.
Yes. Recently had the kimchi fries from Mill City Public House, and they were amazing.
And the street corn tacos.
Those were tater tots.
Tater
Street
tots,
corn
that's what I meant.
Tater tots. Yeah, those were amazing. Which
I
we
had a
mentioned.
great idea for a tater taco.
Tater taco. There it is, Rusty. The new old
Make her
things podcast just handed you a menu item,
There you go.
but it was once again very delicious. And another shout out to an excellent place.
Very good.
Other local thing, kind of important too. Over the last week or since we shot this podcast, the phone number for mental health help 988
Suicide
got launched.
hotline. I think I just saw that today
But
too.
it's
I
great.
think that's wonderful. Yeah, it used to be like a full-on, like 9-10 digit number you had to
Yeah,
memorize, and now it's
988.
just 988.
Which is great. And I think it's also probably a little bit too close to 911. Maybe get some marketing out there to share. All right, 988 88.
Yeah, why start with a 9 at all?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it's great. It's an excellent step. We
Yeah,
all
it's
like
good.
to focus on mental health here within the New Old Podcast, so that's very important. I
What
wanted
are
to
you
get
trying
that
to
out.
say?
It's a good thing to get out. In case you need it, Chris.
I have your phone number.
Yes. So other topics this week. We've got alien. We've got UAP discussions we have not gotten into yet.
Tell the people what UAP stands for.
Unidentified aerial phenomenon, which used to be UFO to the layperson.
Correct.
But the big problem was, I think like a month ago, they had that big hearing in Congress, and they invited a bunch of people to get witness testimony from people.
Mike Gallagher was there
So I'm going to get to that. So
with his raccoon eyes.
but the thing that really, I thought it was still good to watch. I don't know if you saw any clips of the actual public hearing.
No.
But the challenge is a lot of these engineering companies or just government entities in general that are working and involved with these UAPs have non-disclosure agreements that they can't violate. They could lose their credentials. They could lose a number of things. So last week,
NDAs with who?
with either the federal government that they're working on as part of their employment contracts, or if they're working for like a private contractor, they have an agreement with that private contractor.
Lockheed.
Lockheed, Skunk Works, etc.
That's right.
Boeing, all of those.
Boing.
Boing.
Why isn't that a button? Why don't we have a boing button?
Oh, we should get it all.
Anytime you say something awesome, I can just kick the boing button.
I'll figure that out. But
Right.
but last week, Mike Gallagher from Wisconsin, who
Yes.
sometimes is good, sometimes is an idiot.
Fair.
You can't go on your YouTube channel and tell people to stop invading the Capitol on January 6th and then go completely silent about all of other activities and act like it didn't happen. Thank you, Mike Gallagher, for not doing anything there. But thank you for doing something by striking a bipartisan deal to give people out of their non-disclosure agreements to be able to speak on the record about the things that they've studied, the things that they've seen, so that they don't have the repercussions of sharing this information. It's all good stuff I never thought we'd see. None of this. I never thought we'd get this type of government support. I never thought we'd have a discussion in Congress. I never thought we'd have advocation for protecting people who are witnesses to a lot of these things or studied these things. And I think it's great progress. And hopefully it means generational changing technology that helps all of us, and it helps the planet. Gets us off of some fossil fuels or wean us off in some way, because the shit that those things are doing, it's fucking incredible.
Okay, so that's the thing. First, I want to say I was at an autism awareness conference once, and Mike Gallagher was there, and he seemed like he was very interested in helping. So there,
good for him.
He's still a politician, though. So yeah. Anyways, the thing I don't understand about the UAPs or the UFOs or the unidentified aerial phenomena is when people think the debate is like, is it aliens or is it not aliens? And then if people decide that they don't think it's aliens, they just don't care anymore.
Right.
And my thing is, when you see footage, and I think the audio from like Commander Fravors thing
his
is
whole team.
infinitely more interesting than the video, because you have these like highly trained Top
Dude,
Gun
yes.
naval pilots going, holy shit, I don't know what that is or how it's doing that.
Yeah.
And my thing is, maybe it's aliens. If it's not aliens, what if it's China or something? It seems like it's worth giving a shit about.
Yeah.
And like you said, it could just be excited, you know.
I'm fairly
It begs
certain.
the question, if it is a terrestrial?
Extraterrestrial?
No,
Extraterrestrial?
not extra. Regular terrestrial.
Yep.
If it's a Homo sapien derived thing, it begs the question, like, how?
It's crazy, but it brings some good questions about crashes and recoveries and reverse engineering. It further adds credibility to Bob Lazar's story, which,
Yes.
by the way, S4 is notorious for studying these things.
And he worked there.
And he worked there, which has now been confirmed by people who have worked there. Like, if you haven't seen the documentary, like, he has no interest in making money off of it. It's about getting the awareness of the public, and the fact he got completely trashed 30 years ago and just wanted it to go away, but now wanted to kind of get this out because he's at his heart, he's a scientist. He's a physicist. The guy's a genius. Yeah. To wrap this up, I think it's an exciting time. I think people should be paying more attention to it. And I think if people knew, especially if governments were funding this, our government, and hiding this technology for a long time and purposely not pushing this because of fossil fuels, it's a major problem because we need to get off that shit fast or
Here's a
wean
question.
ourselves off. Wiener.
Here's a question.
Wiener.
We need a wiener button. Every time you say wiener ourselves off, and boing. We need a boing button. A multi-use boing.
No, that's the wrong one.
Oh.
Okay,
Here's a
try it
question.
again. Say wiener.
Wiener. It's a space wiener.
Yeah. Adam, anything to add? You had texted me about that new telescope,
Yes.
which I think is absolutely ridiculous to know what you're looking at when you understand like how far out that is, and that all of the
Yeah, all that. Tori was showing me those pictures of like a galaxy being birthed, basically,
well
That-
no,
through that like
that's
radio
part of it.
telescope or whatever.
But when you look at this one picture, one that they like officially released, you see the ones that are like suns or stars because they've got the points on the outside. But everything else in that picture is a galaxy like ours. So I wonder what the excuse is of like, oh, we're definitely alone. We're it. It's like,
Dude, nobody
okay.
thinks that. Like nobody with a brain. Like
Well, right.
scientists are saying like not only do aliens exist, but like an infinite number of Andrew Zimmermans exist that are all doing exactly this right now.
Mathematically, it is.
The problem is that the human brain literally cannot conceive of infinity.
Right. it's true. It's absolutely true. People are consumed by the environment in which they create for themselves.
Right.
So it's hard for people to imagine. But I also feel like people immediately think that it's got to be in some sort of competition with religion.
Oh.
Like where no, God created Earth. We're the only ones here. There's a mentality.
Everybody
about
knows
there
that creative types always only ever make one thing and then stop.
and then they stop.
Like that song I wrote.
That we've been playing.
And it was good.
It was good. But I always feel like it's such a fucking weird thing. It's like, just because you're religious doesn't mean that you have to believe that this is just the only place we are.
I just think it's funny that you can convince a religious person that a snake could talk, but you can't convince them that there's aliens.
Well, there's a...
Noah lived to be 900 years old, and he built a boat with his bare hands that
Oh, did
contained
he?
2 of everything.
Wow, nothing weird about that.
Aliens, get out of
Get
here.
the fuck out of here with that. Unrealistic.
I thought you went to college.
There's a great short snippet on Instagram that I just saw a guy say, like, why are we following a guy that's killed everybody already?
As tantrums go, goodness gracious.
And they told everybody to stop doing whatever the fuck they wanted.
Correct.
You can't do it. It's all bad. It's all bad. Yeah,
I think people might...
You slipped into a Seinfeld there.
I did. It's bad. It's bad. Seinfeld God. How about that? Hashtag Seinfeld God. It's bad. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What's
Deal with fossil fuel.
that episode the other day that was on where that kid who's like looking up to Jerry and then destroys the tape where he put it. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing, you little piece of shit?"
How bad do you want to see like an
Oh my
unedited
God.
version of that?
It has to exist somewhere. That's right. He says, "You fucking piece of shit."
You little piece of shit.
For the time when that came out, it was so absolutely
My other
so funny.
my other favorite one, because the best episodes of that show are when Jerry goes like surprisingly like mean or dark. There's the one where he screams at the kid, and then there's the one where he's on the plane and that guy has like a heart attack, so Jerry has to take the guy's dog.
Oh,
And
that's
he
a
just-
really early one,
Yeah,
isn't it?
and he just hates this dog. He's constantly, shut up!
It's barking in the back. Yeah.
And then when he finds out the dogs can go to the pound, he does this like celebratory dance.
Oh my god.
He's bad, man.
Yeah.
In the show.
I don't know. I think still my favorite quote is from George taking the eclair off the top of the garbage. And Jerry, what the hell? Let's just eat some trash.
I figured no one's around. What the hell?
The best George Costanza line, in my opinion, is, "Jerry, remember, it's not a lie if you believe it." Do you know how many people walk around every day believing that, like following their life to that exact same
I
thing?
think for George stuff, the jerk store episode is pretty high up.
Yo,
Well, I had sex with your wife. His wife's in a coma.
His wife's in a coma. Speaking of amazing shows, I had a lot of fun at our show on Saturday at
times.
McFleshman's. I really liked that stage. I don't think it wasn't like that when we played.
No, they did a lot of work to it over the pandemic and in the year following the pandemic.
Okay.
Not that the pandemic's over. I'm not trying to put my foot in nothing.
Well, okay.
Listen to your doctor.
Talk with your doctor.
But yeah, they did a lot of work. I liked that they covered it. I think like
Yeah.
a lot of people build outdoor stages
And it's just
don't cover it, and then we get roasted on that stage.
Oh, yeah.
Remember,
Oh, that's a
you
great
were
idea.
there when we played Spats.
That was...
Oh my
shoes
gosh.
started
Terrible.
to melt because it was like a metal.
was a
I mean,
black
Spats is like one of my
metal
favorite
stage.
places to
Absolutely.
play, and I'm very excited
Absolutely.
we'll be there this summer. But at the time, the stage was like a metal flatbed trailer, and my
Yeah.
shoes started to melt. It was so hot.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun one. Oh, that
It was
was
a second only. Remember when we played? This might have been a you show. Did you do the fireworks with us,
we.
or was that Gracie?
I don't think
No,
it was
we
me,
did
no.
Memorial Park.
Yeah, for the
No,
fireworks.
I thought you were.
Was
Or
this
was it a
long
Josh?
time ago?
It was with Ike.
Maybe. I know I played out there with you at one point.
Then
That
that would have
was
been it. Oh, wait.
Crushingly hot.
Yeah. Well, no,
I thought
we,
I was gonna die.
we did a birthday party there once.
That's the one
that's
I think
what-
I'm
okay.
remembering.
We
No,
did
we
4th
did
of July
4th of
there.
July, and I was like seeing spots. Like it was.
It was.
hellish.
It was really
I
hot.
can't do heat like that kind of heat anymore.
It's not so much
just
the
not
heat;
good.
it's the gosh darn.
Gosh darn
humidity.
humidity.
Do you, that show to me, looking back, is just so fucking hilarious for the wrong reasons. Like, we show up and rock out hour of originals only to get followed by a cover band that shows up in a fucking tour bus that sat in air conditioning the whole time. Yeah. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, something's wrong with this picture.
I want more money.
We need more money. So subscribe to the podcast so we can monetize this fucker. And we can buy ourselves a shitty van that's not air conditioned.
Hop water. The right water for podcasting.
For podcasting.
It's good.
It is good. It's good.
I can really taste them adaptogens.
Okay, good. Let's see. There was a couple other things that I had for ideas. Any topics that you wanted to cover this week, Chris?
I had a thought. I was taking a walk with my lovely wife, and we passed this house. And this is not a political thing. It's a philosophical thing. We passed a house that had a number of flags flying outside of it.
Sure.
And one of them, many of them, featured profanity.
Really?
But one of them specifically said, fuck Joe Biden and fuck you for voting for him. And I felt this feeling in my belly, where I feel my feelings. I'm a big free speech guy. My granddad fought in W2 and came home and taught my dad, we still have to let people say whatever they want so that we can say whatever we want. And that's how freedom of speech works. But then you walk past that, and there's like kids trying to play outside, and people are mostly just trying to live their lives. And just in your gut, you go like, well, that ain't right. And I'm curious if you guys think that at some point, this like super strict adherence to the concept of freedom of speech, which I myself believe in very strictly, sort of turns on itself and sort of starts making everything suck. It's no different. Like when you drive past the Planned Parenthood and see the guy with all the dead babies, and just in your bones, you know, like, you shouldn't be allowed to do that. But because we only have this one rule, because there's 300 bazillion people, we have to have these really simplistic, almost childish, black and white yes or no rules.
Yeah.
Like, don't ride your scooter on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah, I compared you guys to the Planned Parenthood guy.
There's
Dwayne, I know the guys.
There's definitely... I 100%. I think there's a tactful awareness that used to exist in society of things that you do and don't do because there could be kids around or whatever. Just general decency of things. I'm not going to tell somebody they can't do what they want to do, but have some fucking social awareness. That's my thing. But how do we have a society if we don't correct people that don't have that social awareness? You could walk up to that guy's door and then bat the gun away from his hand when he opens the door, because you know that's going to happen. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like, to me, I look at this with Fox, if he asks a question of, well, how do I explain it to him in a way that is respectful but also gives our point of like, but that's just not how we do it. Right. So I think as long as we can go into those situations and say, you know what, buddy, that person decided to use some not so good words and not so kind things and put it on his yard, which he can do, but that's just not something that how we would go about sharing our opinion or our differences. Because my thing too is like, his opinion was not merely a political one. It's just inappropriate behavior. Like, he was literally telling me to go fuck myself in flag form, which I love a good flag. That's why it hurts so bad. I was like, oh, I need a flag. I love flag. What does it say?
I don't understand.
I mean, if you want to look like an asshole at your home, by all means, put up a dipshit flag like that.
But I don't understand how you can hate somebody so much that you want to get a flag to represent how much you hate them.
Well, the hilarity is, and Tori pointed this out, and we pointed out to Oliver, one of the other flags
There's a spelling mistake on it?
One of the other flags says, fuck your feelings. And we pointed out to Oliver, like, now, okay, of all the people involved in this interaction, who's more wrapped up in their feelings? Me, the guy who goes, ugh, and just keeps driving. You know, or the guy who goes on the internet and goes to flagsmadeinchina.net and orders 8 flags.
Oh my God. Whenever I see the fuck your feelings, either on social media or wherever, I immediately, in my brain, I think of it being said like, fuck your feelings. That's how
like you're breaking up with someone and you go like, I don't feel like we should be together. Well, fuck your feelings.
Fuck your feelings. That's how it sounds.
I didn't want to be in your band anyway.
Fuck your feelings. Which is just a really great way to say, I can't handle what you did.
Me and the guys are gonna go to prom just stag.
Fuck
what
you
he wanted to
and
do.
fuck your feelings. I'm out of here. And then you kick a garbage can on the way out. That's what it sounds like. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what? Well, when you spend most of your life with your feelings getting repressed by your parents because of toxic masculinity, I suppose feelings are something that need to be fucked.
That's a good point. I heard this woman who does like therapy and things like she does public speaking, that kind of thing. She compared it to Germany, that the first country the Nazis invaded was Germany. And we don't often think about it that way, but it's true.
It's true.
Just like the first people that toxic masculinity really hurts is men. Even though it obviously hurts women, I would say worse and with far less
The end result of it, yes.
say so. But it's worth noting, and we're both raising dudes.
Yeah.
You gotta let them, I still, I consider myself to be a pretty forward-thinking, lefty, liberal, radical dude. And I still, I'll be watching Field of Dreams, and I'll feel it coming up, and I'll just, get meshed down. And you know what? I should just close the blinds. Let it out, dude.
It's nothing to be
let it
ashamed
come.
of, man.
It's okay. It's okay.
When they
to
finally
have
get to
feelings.
play catch. Oh, I don't even like baseball.
Probably not going to get a fuck your feelings flag. Probably not going to put the F word anywhere on our house anywhere. Maybe a fuck the Bears flag. That's okay.
That's all in good fun.
But even that, I like the Bears. It's a couple easy wins every season.
Oh,
you need that.
no.
I get all kinds of material for on stage. I was in Chicago the other week, and I was like, I love playing for Bear fans because I just feel like I thrive when people have a pretty low bar. If you like the Bears, you're going to love this show because it's way better than the Bears.
Well, the thing that I love, because I work with a lot of Bears fans, is the really true Bear fans are so unbelievably pessimistic about the Bears, and I fucking love it because
they're also probably
they'll
Cubs
fuck it up
fans.
anyway. Yeah, well, whatever. Like last year, they draft Justin Fields, who I thought was a really good draft pick for them.
Still is, I
He
think.
still is. I really
Lot of
believe that
potential
he's going to be a fucking tough quarterback. But every Bear fan was like, this is typical Bears. They don't even fucking play Fields. It's fucking week 6, and we got a shitty quarterback. It's like, yeah, I agree. You're right.
They did
We'll
make some
fuck it
weird
up.
choices with when to put him in and when to take him out again. And who was that? Andy Dalton.
Dalton's not bad, but he's not.
He
Not
looks.
the answer.
And again, I don't mean this. He looks like a supervillain. He's got
He's got that
those
scowl.
eyebrows.
He's got a scowl.
He's very.
He's got a look.
He's very ginger,
Very much
which you
so.
can relate to.
He's very. I have activated the laser beam. That kind of vibe.
I have pushed the button.
Yes.
But I think the Bears will be better. Any other local topics? Oh, one quick thing. The official, we mentioned it last week, but now the app for Mile of Music and the full schedule just got put out today.
Is it?
So you
Did
can
it?
now download it. Our schedule is on there.
Cool.
Go and find us. Go find some new shit. There's
Cool.
a lot of cool stuff coming up. Glad the app is out there. Start planning it. Shit always changes. So keep it up to date because I know we've had shows that have either gotten bumped back or times have
Or
bridges
just
switched,
materialized out of nowhere.
or we've taken shows that
Yeah.
have sort of been pop up. So it's important. I
Or even
think, for
bands
people
get
to-
sick. and
Bands
we'll
get sick, they don't
jump
come up.
in
We
and-
did that last year. That's
yeah,
right.
we had a show
Gibson.
last year that we got
That was kind of
45 minutes
unexpected.
before we played. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's creeping up real quick. So get your plans. I did speak to Justin Kibble. He is going to be coming up.
Ooh.
So we will be able to hang out with
Is he
Justin.
going to share the video of that guy eating the pizza again?
I hope so. Oh my God, it was
That's
so
my
good.
favorite time of year.
That's
I love
so
that video.
good. For anyone who follows our social channels, you will see the
don't have
annual
any of those.
post of this guy really, I can't even explain it.
He's so
slowly and
drunk, he
drunkenly
himself is
eating
almost a
pizza
liquid.
And catching himself off guard and just eating it. And catching himself up.
Yeah.
And then
But
looking
also,
around.
there's an element where, he's romantically in love with
Like
the
in
pizza.
love with this pizza. It is so funny.
Yeah.
And I'll remember standing there because Justin and I were waiting for our Uber, and Kurt Kempen was out there. Shout out to Kurt.
Shout out.
And we're just like look at this guy. Just trying to be quiet and not laugh too much while he's just making sweet, sweet love to this piece of Sal's Pizza at probably 1:30, 2 in the morning.
It's a floppy
But
slice.
it will be definitely shared. One thing I was thinking of, and we can wrap it up.
I have to pee
How
again.
many members of the New Old Things have there been? I was trying to think of all of them because we've had kind of a rotating cast. We've got it pretty.
Are we talking like what is a member of the New Old Things? How many shows do you have to play to be a member? Because there have been a fairly small number of people.
More
that
than
I was-
one.
Oh, well then a fair bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had what?
So we had 7 drummers in one calendar year once.
Stop.
Yes, we did.
For more than one show?
No,
just-
drummer Chad only played for one show.
Yeah. Marco played for one show.
Marco played for one show.
Who was your friend from Fond du Lac?
Tyler?
Tyler played one show.
No, Tyler played
2 shows.
at least a couple of shows.
Some like the Lee Baines ones, I think.
Yeah, he played those 2 shows.
Josh.
Josh played, and then Adam was.
Oh,
in
that's
that year.
right.
And then
He
Ryan.
did. What
Ryan
happened with that?
Ryan, current drummer, subbed for us. I actually met him the day of the show. I'm like, oh, who's this guy? He's drumming for us. Oh, great.
Ryan, I believe, Gracie, I
Yeah.
believe, holds the record for.
Longest.
No, I think Kepke has that. Ryan has the record for least amount of notice.
That's
Ryan
true.
got maybe
like
12 hours notice.
Yeah.
And it was a 2 hours.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was like the era of the band
We had pretty much
where
were
it was pretty like folky and country still, and you could just kind of go like
shuffling and
Yeah.
shuffle beats.
That
We-
wouldn't fly anymore.
I remember
Now that we're a math rock
him and I
band.
were. It was at Fox River House, and him and I was like lockstep
Because
with him.
poor Josh fell down the stairs.
Yes, that's right, and hurt his knee. But yeah, I remember we were like icon, and I'm like, okay, here's the end, like the whole time. But it worked out. It was good. We've had a fair share of guitar players. Not as many drummers though.
No.
Wait, no, because it was Ike. We've had Ian, Ike,
You're talking guitar players now?
guitar player, Bruder, Bill.
Tate did a couple.
Tate did a couple. Caleb, that's 6.
Sam.
Oh, Krieger.
Krieger did one.
Sam,
Sam did
That's
a
8.
handful. Yeah,
that's 8. So we've had quite the share of local peeps
indeed.
as part of the New Old Things. But shout out to all of them. We love them and we appreciate them.
Indeed.
But I was thinking, I'm like, how many people have been? But we've been.
It's north of 20 for sure. But
Yeah.
I would still bet that if you asked someone, they would say there's like sort of 3
main.
lineups of the band that people recognize as they're like the original lineup of the 3 of us and Bruder.
Yep.
Then Ike comes in,
Yep. Ike was in.
and Ike was around for like a year,
Yep.
and then you and
Caleb
Gracie switched seats, and then Caleb came in.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, that's quite the group. We are very fortunate to have that many talented people to be able to jump in.
Indeed.
It's cool.
We are out though. We've used them all.
We have used them all.
And if
There
anyone
are
else
none
chooses to
left.
leave the band,
There are no more.
yes.
There are no more. We're going to start. Well, the good thing, Chris, is that the farewell tour of Vic Ferrari is happening. So there's more guitar players that will be available. We just have to start playing covers.
See, here's the thing. And we were going to talk about this.
We were gonna
Here's the thing, okay? I'll try to make this quick. I'm very conflicted because I've met a lot of people in cover bands, and they're lovely.
Lovely.
They're genuinely
Great
nice
people.
people. They're
Usually
kind
good
people.
gear.
Great gear. Very talented people. And shockingly supportive of a band like ours. They
That
always
is
say really
true.
nice things, that kind of thing. However,
Here it comes.
the existence of those bands
Yeah,
makes my life harder.
it does. It does.
Because people expect, can you do 4 hours? No, I'm a human man. I'm not Bruce Springsteen. What are you talking about?
So that is an excellent point because on on Saturday after our show,
Yes.
I went down to El Dorado. They had an El Dorado picnic. They had a cover band there.
Fond du Lac?
It's outside of Fond du Lac, just outside of Fond du Lac.
Okay.
I actually know 2 of the guitarists in there. Really good guitar players. Have really good gear. Mark Eberts. You know Mark Eberts? Yeah. Anyway,
Unless he
he's
knows
a
me, in
shredder.
which
He's
case I'm
awesome.
very sorry. I think he's great.
But he's awesome. But anyway, so I went to this bar in Fond du Lac that a friend of mine's sister owns, and she books music,
Yes.
and she books like the 3 to 4 hour window, and I had to explain that it's not that there's a better or worse. It's just a different, completely different atmosphere than what we do.
And one of them's better.
But it was hard for me to explain, like, well, how much time do you guys have? I'm like, well, like do an hour set. And they're like, that's it? You have to fill 3 hours? I'm like, see, but that's the problem. It's different. But to do 3 hours and then have to bring a PA and have to bring our own sound, like that is a totally different thing.
Especially
and I think
because
people struggle with that because they only think of bands that play for 4 hours and they play other people's shit. And it's this mindset that's sort of taken over this area for the last 30 years, probably because of Vic Ferrari, as we've talked about. But it's a totally different mindset of, it's like hard to explain to people, like, no, we don't do covers.
Here's my other thought about the cover band thing that I've always wanted, like, a platform to weigh in on.
You're welcome.
Because I have been privy to conversations where this debate goes on that, like, people in cover bands will say, like, we're all just musicians, man. And that's true. But I'm also a songwriter.
Right.
And
Right.
to me, like, the difference is if I go out into the woods and I find a log and I bring it, let's be honest, to Adam. And
Adam,
I say,
you now have a log.
I say, hey, make this into a chair. And Adam makes a chair out of a log. And then someone else goes to IKEA and buys a box full of particle board bullshit and puts together a chair. We both have chairs. We both built a chair today. Sure. But it's not the same thing. And I feel like the denial of the fact that, like, cover bands make it harder for original bands and the insisting that we're all the same just is part of what creates a friction that doesn't need to be there.
It doesn't need to be there.
Like, I'm fine, you know. I don't think we should be playing at Timber Rattler Stadium for 4 hours. It's not what we should do.
And it's totally,
if a cover band wants to do that, that's awesome.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Yep.
Since we're well past, and I'm going to have to edit the fucking shit out of this, I have a feeling,
Yeah.
after that cover band discussion.
Fine.
It's fine. It's always going to come up.
Classic Christopher. It was even-handed and calm and nice.
But let's pick, if you had to pick 3 desert island episodes of The Office, and you could only pick 3 to watch forever. It has to be The Office. You can only pick 3 episodes that you can repeat and watch. What 3 do you think you're going to pick? Adam, you can go
I'm
first.
definitely picking Dinner Party.
Yep.
That's up there for sure.
It's definitely on there.
Are we going to the island together?
No.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
we don't
you
get
can't
that.
I wanna know
you
if I can
can't
watch-
mooch
No,
off
okay.
my
It's all different.
episodes.
We're on different islands with different DVD players.
Okay.
I'm on the island that the Fire Festival was supposed to be at.
There are only
Oh, it's
there's
still
only
covered in
one
poop,
disc.
though.
Yeah,
And it's a
well.
disc of all the hits, the 3
Okay.
hits that you have.
I gotcha.
Okay, so Dinner Party, just because I feel like this is an episode that I'm always asleep when it comes on. When Michael does, like, the Survivor games to figure out
yeah.
who's going to replace him.
Yep.
And then
Oh, I was thinking Survivor Man.
Beach games.
Beach games,
Beach
yes.
I was
Survivor
thinking
Man was
Survivor
good,
Man
though.
when he's out in the woods.
Yeah.
I tented my pants.
Made a pants tent.
I will not
Last,
save Michael.
man, that's a tough
I will
one.
even let him die. Let's see.
They're
You got
just-
those are 2 good ones.
They're all so good. There's only one episode that I don't like.
Which one is that?
I hate the Booze Cruise episode. I don't know
really?
why. I just don't like it.
I don't like that when they go to Florida.
I-
Everybody, they're good,
but, like,
it's too different.
Yeah, I think my last one would have to be Goodbye Toby. I really like that episode.
Goodbye, Toby. Oh yeah.
Okay. Michael fries his foot.
The injury.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Dwight brings a gun to the office. I love you guys, but don't cross me. But you're the best. Did a gun go off in the office?
Yes. Stop asking yourself questions.
And then I'm torn between the episode where Michael just does whatever he wants, and he's like eating cake, and then Ryan
yeah.
tries to do the same thing. He's like, you really gotta not care what people think to do. Or the episode with the flasher,
So final 3.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
where I know what you're thinking. Won't that just shine more light on the penis? And then he calls
Hey,
Phyllis
phallus.
phallus.
Sorry, had
Sorry,
penises
penis on brain.
So yeah, probably the flasher.
Okay, so the 3 were the flasher, the
Injury,
injury,
the gun.
and the gun. Well, definitely Dinner Party's definitely up there. I'm gonna go.
See, I was trying not. Dinner Party would be on, but I was trying not to repeat.
Well, I think definitely Dinner Party is for sure.
Yeah.
Then Scott's Tots.
Oh, that one hurts too bad.
See,
That's so awkward. Like, that's when you couldn't watch the dinner party.
I know, but I've gotten past it. I've worked through that. I've worked through it. And
Except
it's so
Stanley's reaction the first time someone says Scott.
oh my God. So those two for sure. And then I've got to say it's the Benihana Christmas.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh.
Benihana Christmas
Okay.
is pretty awesome. It's an hour. It's a longer one. But so much happens in that episode.
Yep.
Michael gets Jan to go on the trip with him, which is a key storyline the rest of the Office episodes.
Yeah.
But that one is so good because then you kind of get to figure out, who Andy Bernard's going to be.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, it's had a really rough day. He's like, I bet you break up with somebody every minute. And she laughs, and immediately Michael's like, oh. But they drink Nagasaki's.
What kind of bike is that, Michael? I don't
Those
know,
places.
a regular one?
I don't know. Right?
What is this is just another office poll question.
Okay.
Quick one. What is your favorite Stanley reaction to anything throughout the whole entire series?
When he yells at Ryan, boy, have you lost your mind? Because I'll help you find it. Stanley yelled at me. That was terrifying.
I've just rolled. Sorry.
And there's a deleted scene where, again, Michael picks up one of Stanley's books and a bunch of like blurred out hentai comes flying out of it. And Stanley's just like, it's called hentai. It's art. Or when Michael says something about him having diabetes, and Stanley goes, why do you always say I have diabetes? And Michael goes, have a glass of apple juice and you tell me you don't have diabetes. And again, there's a blooper where then Stanley gets up and he kind of groans, and Mike goes, even just that sound you made. And they all start laughing. What's yours?
So when people transfer from Stanford, what's the convict's name? He looks over at Stanley and gives that motion, and Stanley just it just gets me every time. It's so good.
Ooh, and when he gets tranked, the whole episode when
Yes,
Dwight shoots up Stanley with like bear tranquilizers, and then they slide him down the stairs, and then they take him. He's, look at the baby.
That's such a cute baby.
I do not like pregnant women in my workplace. They're always complaining. I have varicose veins too. I have swollen ankles. I'm constantly hungry. Do you think my nipples don't get sore too? That's definitely it for me.
We gotta wrap this thing up before I fucking sweat to
We
death.
do.
It's
It
so
is
bad
hot
in here.
Hot as balls. Any other anything else? Any office topics? Anything else? I know the goal is to get these out on Mondays. Our first one will be posted, and then
Sure.
so there's nothing in the next 2 weeks that we need to hype up.
I mean, we could just start having an office section, but that could get pretty carried away.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up.
Oh.
Excellent show, boys. We
And to you, sir.
will 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Now, why did you say 3, 2, 1? He also,
This show fucking sucks.
but in like the best way.
That's a good cut point right there.